In this video, we're going to look at how to renew an IP address in Windows 7, which in the book is actually covered in two separate exercises, 13.4 as well as 13.5. First, we're going to look at how to do it through the Windows interface. What we're looking for in Windows is our network connection properties. So on my computer to get there, I'm going to click on Start, go to Control Panel, look for Network and Internet, and underneath that I'm actually looking for View Network Task Status and Tasks. Here's my local area connection, so I'll click on that to get its status. And at the bottom, I've got a button here called Diagnose. If I'm having network issues, this is the place I want to go. I want to click on Diagnose, and it's going to look for problems. Very quickly, it told me it couldn't identify a problem, which is good, considering that my network is operational like it's supposed to be. However, if there was a problem, it would release my IP address and try to renew it automatically. If you're like me, though, you might be a little bit skeptical that this actually did anything, so I'm going to close out of here and look at how to do it manually through the command prompt. I'm going to give us a little bit more room here so we can kind of see what's going on. And the first thing I want to do is make sure we have an IP address. So I'm going to choose type in ipconfig. And you can see we actually do have an IP address, and everything, like I mentioned earlier, is working normally, but we're going to pretend for a second that it's not. So if I do ipconfig/all, you'll see that my lease was obtained on this date at 2:06:19 p.m. So again, I'm going to do a clear screen. If I do an ipconfig, oops, I can't type, but if I do an ipconfig/renew, since I have a legit IP address, okay, it basically just came out very, very quickly there. If I do an ipconfig/all again to look at it, notice that my time is still 2:06. It didn't actually release and renew my lease. It's still the same lease that I had before. So I'm going to clear the screen again. And if I do ipconfig/release, it will release my address. Notice that I have absolutely no address at this point within my configuration settings. Then, if I do ipconfig/renew, it'll take it a second here. It'll think about life. It'll continue to think about it, but then it'll give me a new address. What it'll probably do is give me the same address as I had before, if that address is still available. But what we can do now, if we do an ipconfig/all, is we can see that my release was actually obtained at 3:08, or the current time, as opposed to the lease before, which was obtained around 2 o'clock.